The Galaxy S24 Ultra Titanium. Apple did it first, and I don't really care who copies, because titanium is awesome. Used on spacecraft, inside human bodies, and on wheelchairs, it's super light, super tough, and super cool, and I'm super into this new high-tech fad. Samsung doesn't say what grade of titanium they're using for this S24 Ultra body. Apple did come right out and say that their iPhone 15 was grade 5 titanium, and it turns out it was. Well, the part that's left of it anyway. Let me know down in the comments if you think we should extract the titanium on this S24 Ultra as well. We'll chat more about the titanium in a minute. Samsung also said during their announcement that they have a new front surface glass called Corning Gorilla Armor. And supposedly it can reduce screen glare by 75%, which obviously helps the optical clarity. And it looks like whatever magic they've done is working. When the S24 Ultra is compared to my Note 10 Plus, you can clearly see a massive difference in reflectivity. The S24 Ultra eliminates the glare so much that we can actually count the diodes in my studio lights. Where with the Note 10 Plus, which has Gorilla Glass from 5 years ago, is just a giant white rectangle. I've never even noticed before that some of my LEDs are burnt out. Nice work, Corning. Thumbs up for that. Reducing light glare is a big deal for people who go outside in the daylight, if, you're into that kind of thing. And while Samsung didn't change the design of the Ultra all that much, they did change the material it's built from. At first touch or glance, the average person probably wouldn't be able to tell a difference. Just a slight difference of color and a major difference of price. The aluminum bar on the left cost me $10, and the grade 2 titanium bar on the right cost me $170. It's some really premium stuff. We'll have to see if the titanium actually makes the Ultra more durable or not. With the new Gorilla Armor in place over the 120Hz AMOLED, Corning is calling it their toughest Gorilla Glass yet, and that it has 4 times more scratch resistance than other glass when it comes to the micro scratches that you might get from dust or keys or coins in your pocket. And Gorilla Armor again might be onto something. When I reach levels 6 and 7 on the Mohs scale of hardness, lines do start appearing on the phone, but they feel different. Normally I can feel the tiny tip of my pick catch on the glass as it's fracturing its way into the surface. But this time around I can see lines that cannot be rubbed off, but I don't feel the same fracturing or catching or deeper grooves that I feel with other phones at a level 7 until a level 8 this time. And I think that this time around, the S24 Ultra Gorilla Armor gives us scratches at a level 7 with deeper grooves at a level 8. I'm not sure what's happening with the lines at level 6 though. At first I thought it might be the oleophobic coating, but that coating would evaporate under the heat from my lighter, while these lines still remain. My best guess is that since I didn't feel the pick catch or grab on the surface of the glass, it's probably some material transfer. The pick itself is standing away and attaching itself to the surface like a marker. Or a crayon. If only we had a microscope to closer analyze the scrapes. Oh wait, I do. Zooming in for a close-up on the level 6 marks, it's a bit difficult to focus on the surface of the glass and not through the glass to the individual pixels, but the marks on the glass look very uniform, not super indicative of damage to the surface. Going on to level 7, we can see a few pock marks, where the pick actually enters into the surface of the glass, and level 8, where we can see actual chunks of glass that were obliterated by the stroke of my Mohs hardness pick. So yeah, that's my verdict at least. 6 is actually just fine. Scratches only begin at level 7, with deeper grooves at level 8. Things will never be the same. A reduction of micro scratches is a pretty big deal, because those tiny imperfections are from where real cracks can form. The front camera is a 12 megapixel little guy, also protected with that Gorilla Armor, and that camera is sitting just below an ultra-thin earpiece slit. Now, when it comes to scratching the titanium is a Mohs 6, while aluminum is a Mohs 3. Again, we don't know what grade titanium Samsung is using yet, but we can infer from the little tiny print at the bottom of their website that it's probably only the exterior frame that's titanium, and that the button material is definitely not titanium. The buttons are probably aluminum inserts. The titanium can still scratch and scuff, of course. It's not vibranium or anything. It'll be fun to do some XRF scans during the teardown to see what grade it actually is. Hit that subscribe button so you don't miss it. The bottom of the S23 Ultra is where we find the 45-watt charging port, the IP68 water-resistant SIM card tray, and our little buddy, the S Pen stylus. It's been about 120 days since I upgraded from my Note 10 Plus, and I miss that thing already. I didn't use the S Pen often, but when I did, it was incredibly useful. There's a little capacitor up in the top that wirelessly charges from a tiny coil inside the phone. And then when it's outside the phone, it uses that energy stored in the capacitor to... S Pen is not inside the phone. Make sure it's somewhere safe. Ah, yeah, for sure. Totally safe. Nothing to worry about here. Anyway, it uses the power from that capacitor in the tip to remotely take pictures, flip through presentations, control music, and then the copper coils round around the tip create their own magnetic field that the screen's digitizer can detect for super accurate note-taking. The Note series was a professional powerhouse, and I'm glad to see the S24 Ultra line taking up that mantle. The back panel of the S24 Ultra is also made from glass. The little Samsung logo at the bottom is smooth, while the rest has a frosted texture. The individual camera bump circles stick out a bit like last year, and the year before, and the year before. We have our 12 megapixel ultra-wide camera up top, our main 200 pixel camera in the center, and a 50 megapixel 5x telephoto on the bottom, with another 10 megapixel 3x telephoto on the right. All the laser focusing stuff is up in the top right, and all 5 circles are protected with glass. Along with the new titanium fad, I'm also super down with the super flat displays. Not only are they more functional, usable, visible, and less prone to damage, but they also gotta just be easier to manufacture. Samsung's using a 6.8-inch 1440p 120Hz LTPO AMOLED screen that lasts for about 30 seconds under my lighter before going white and not recovering. Personally, I hope the flat screen trend continues forever. The S24 Ultra has an ultrasonic fingerprint reader under the glass, and when we put level 7 scratches over the surface and try to read my fingerprint, it's still able to read and scan my thumb every single time through those marks. Now, titanium is harder and less flexy and less forgiving than aluminum, but as long as enough tolerance is built between the glass and the frame, it should live to see tomorrow. With a very strong bend from the back, it has the tiniest of flexes, and with a bend from the front, we see the same thing, but no cracking or catastrophic damage. The Samsung Galaxy S24 survives my durability test. Personally, I'm a bit jealous. I've been using the Flip 5 for about a week now, and I'm already a tad annoyed at doing that flippy action every time I gotta use my phone. But the Flip 5 is still an improvement over the iPhone for sure. As you can see, I always have protection on my personal device, and the only case that fits my teardown skin, or Dbrand's X-Ray Dark Skin, is the grip case, from my channel sponsor Dbrand. They still have the buy one get both sale going on for the X-Rays, by the way. This year they outdid themselves by making the S24 Ultra grip case MagSafe compatible. Link is down in the description. Even though I normally always have a case, this time around I think I'm going to rock the Flip 5 without protection. 1, because it's thick, and 2, I want to give it a proper long-term real-world durability test. Of course, it's not because I secretly hope it breaks within a few months and I can switch to the S24 Ultra instead. I wouldn't do that. Let's see how long it lasts. Thanks a ton for watching. I'll see you around.